The backlog, a fairly common and frankly terrifying practice that many pro movie watchers, book readers, show watchers, and pro gamers, such as myself, take part in. The backlog is a collection of media in a list that are for the creator of that backlog to consume. This one may not seem all too significant, but it helps myself and many others stay organized when consuming their chosen media. You may be able to guess this by the general vibe of my channel or the title of this video, but I'll obviously be covering book backlogs.
Oh yeah, we got classics like Minecraft Combat Handbook, my first copy of Splatoon Volume 9, my second copy of Splatoon Volume 9, Holes.
The gaming backlog. A list of 20, 40, or maybe even 50 games. Or if you're crazy like me, go with 95 and counting. Yep, this ain't gonna be talking about the backlog in general. Enough people have covered that already. This will be talking about everyone's favorite, my backlog. Which way more people have talked about their own backlog. Oops. I started my backlog in December of 2022, and I played a grand total of 20 games? What? Yeah, I'm a bit of a slow gamer. I'll be doing this series in groups of 3 games at a time. So join me in the start of this treacherous journey of a lot of JRPGs with a classic. A blast from the past that I wasn't alive for. A tale about the right man in the wrong place. Half-Life, released in 1998, a bit of a classic, with a 96% on Metacritic, and many saying it still holds up to this day. Does it really? No, absolutely not. But let's talk about what this game did right first. Half-Life, despite many other games following its footsteps, still has many unique features that I think are absolutely awesome. One of these things is cutscenes, or lack of. In every single cutscene, or talking segment, you have complete freedom over the player character. Where in other games, the cutscenes may take you out of the character perspective, or seeing something that the main character may not be able to see. Those games will likely also have a skip button for those scenes that you might not necessarily want to watch. Where in Half-Life, if this silly guy is telling you about something probably not important, you can just shoot him in the head. Yeah. Half-Life is a well-balanced tactical shooter with unique environments that keeps the game feeling fresh. The enemy design is awesome, and the AI feels smart, other than the barnacle. All my homies hate the barnacle. Half-Life did a lot right, but there are a few things that made it worse, significantly, the 2023 lens. That are probably just a skill issue. The weapons, in theory, I should love, with some awesome ones like a Magnum, funny alien gun, Hazard, this little guy, and Luigi's Mansion, which are all well designed, but I saved them in the entire game for a moment which I never seemed to find. So I ended up trying to solve almost every tactical situation with a pistol, SMG, shotgun, or a crowbar. This led to another problem, where I went into situations with a mentally limited arsenal. I would take a lot of damage from one fight, then, in the next encounter, go in with very low health. This isn't helped by the checkpoint system, where by clicking F5 you make a checkpoint. And because of this, I would often make a checkpoint right before the second situation, where I had 2 health going into a room full of enemies, which frustrated me, and made the game feel way harder than it is. Spoilers for the last few chapters of Half-Life here. There's nothing background breaking happens, but I don't want to get yelled at. Alright, let's continue. Zen, from what I've seen, is the most disliked part of this game because of its difficulty spike and shifting gameplay, adding a certain level of BS to the section. However, I was dealing with BS that I created throughout my entire playthrough. Zen, for me, was the best part of Half-Life. When I entered Zen, I thought, this is probably the last section of the game, which encouraged me to use my entire arsenal of weapons, which, to not much surprise, made the game a lot more fun. The checkpoint issue still existed, but I certainly didn't mind it because of my experimentation with new weapons. The Nihilith was, well, underwhelming, but an alright send-off to the game. Is what I thought before a certain G-Men walked in and made the ending way more interesting. Wow, by that point I was very satisfied with my fix of Half-Life. no way I would play another Half-Life game, but worse, which would make me burnt out of Half-Life, right? Going into Opposing Force, a DLC / new campaign for Half-Life, I was prepared for a bit of a disappointment, which I kind of got. Opposing Force did more right than I ever thought it would, and design-wise, in concept, is even better than Half-Life. The main thing that Opposing Force did that I liked was the new weapons, even though they weren't very different compared to Half-Life weapons. There was something about them that were fun, and encouraged me to use them in tactical ways that I had a blast setting up. Like, look at this clip. I would have never done this in Half-Life. Opposing Force has a fair amount of glitches, however. I remember in my first playthrough, I got stuck in the middle of a vent and couldn't move. The environments and enemy placements felt less polished and thought out than Half-Life, which generally brought down the experience. The story was fine. It generally followed the plot of Half-Life, but there felt like there were some plot holes, which didn't feel present in Half-Life. Final Boss was better than Half-Life, in the respect that it was actually pretty fun. Whew, I'm burnt out of Half-Life. But despite this, I'm kind of in the mood to maybe play a Half-Life that is a combination of both the good parts about both other games. A third game could totally do this, right? Blue Shift is a big, funny game that's only a couple of hours long, where you play as the funny guard in Half-Life. Blue Shift is obviously a bit of a joke game, keeping a mostly same arsenal from Half-Life, while having the unpolished and glitches from Opposing Force. The story is bland, there's not even an attempt at a final boss, but compared to others, I'm a bit inexperienced. I want to ask a true master of the Blue Shift. What's up with your Blue Shift hours? There's nothing going on in that game. Why is it so good?
Well, you see, it is a beautiful game with expert crafting of the puzzles and design choices.
Yeah, I heard the crafting system was pretty good.
Right, yeah. And it is a lot of fun, you see, because it puts you through a story in the eyes of someone that you wouldn't be expected. You know, they're not important in any way. They're just some security guy. Yeah.
So, like, where does the dating sim come in? Because I heard there's a dating sim in it. I just wanted to be sure, because I seem to have missed that in my playthrough.
Yeah, it is. It is dot. Yeah, it does have a dating sim. When you get to
Thank you for confirming that for diehard Half-Life fans.
Oh yeah. I think that more people should play it. Because you get to be someone and do stuff.
I think in a lot of games you get to be someone and do stuff.
No, not in all the games.
Okay. Damn. I guess I can't think of another game where you play as something and do stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So clearly, this is the best game ever made.
It is the best game ever made. It is a champion of all the games.
This guy has no idea what he's talking about. I am leaving. Overall, I bet Half-Life here, Opposing Force here, and Blue Shift here. But I'm starting to second guess myself. According to professional reviews from the Steam community reviews, Half-Life is bad because the guard gets stuck at chapter 12. Opposing Force is very good because it's reminiscent of Half-Life. And Blue Shift is a masterpiece because it's very good game beast Opposing Force.